So the next one is between Voddy and Neblime. Voddy is an S rank Terran player. Big shout out to Neblime. I believe he is a solid B rank player from Australia. Cast for CPL. And he also offered to revise Bad Map, which we are calling Choose a Crowd now. Basically added a pylon barrier to the middle and a timer. And we're gonna see how that plays off. Here we see the pylon barrier and the timer. The computer is probably the pylons, which will disappear after 5 minutes. And already have an IMBA claim. I don't know if Voddy has time for an analysis. I don't think Neblime has any time for analysis. Chop chop. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. This map has already proven to be controversial. Different opinions as to who's underpowered or overpowered.
That's we are finally seeing 2 cannons come up, but I was expecting a whole line of them.
In this version of Bad Map or Choose a Crowd, even though if he makes a cannon, I don't think it can actually attack. You're forcefully allied to your opponents, I believe. Voddy has made command centers so he can lift them off. So these are basically his supply depots, which is pretty interesting, eh?
That is a different strat, something I did not expect. I would also expect Protoss to go all air.
He has floated off.
Now, Voddy could totally cheese this and float these off, send them to some other part of the map, and then have to have Neblime chase him down for the victory.
Yeah, it would just prolong your death, basically. I think he's more interested in freeing up space. And he's being very conscientious about where he builds certain things, I think. The issue is when you're making this many command centers,
Will you scroll over a bit? I want to see what okay, so he is going to tech up to
mass lots.
Yeah.
For now. Archive. DTs would be very strong. Now, Voddy did say that Protoss is underpowered, and I think Neblime has done something very interesting here. Mass cannons is kind of an issue. It's like, oh man, how do you deal with that, right? 5 minutes is up. I think Voddy is screwed. Oh, he actually created a little turtle here, didn't he? Interesting. Oh, Nebline's gonna be making some offensive cannons, I think. But you got tank siege. Could always reach him.
I don't think tank siege is going to be that effective.
Oh, the DTs he's got no answer to.
TT is GG.
Very interesting. So that was game 1 on Choose a Crowd. I think Voddy had that if it wasn't for the DTs. And I'm just trying to think what you can do about DTs, because you'd have to get a science vessel or a comsat. Right? Comsats only have so much energy. It means your command center would have to be on the ground. It takes up space. Going into game 2 between Neblime and Voddy, a huge skill gap, mind you. And we got a TVT. Neblime on the left, Voddy on the right. Voddy likes his strategy of making command centers, lifting them off. Neblime also likes that strategy, he's made some command centers to lift off. But he's making an engineering bay. Voddy is making all command centers and a barracks. One barracks from Neblime. 3 command centers. I wonder if instead of floating your command centers and barracks away, it's not better just to keep them lifted up in your base. They could absorb hits. They could distract. Right. This is interesting. Voddy is actually crossing the barrier with his barracks. Is
he going to land it and then just build units in
I don't think so. I was thinking he's doing it for vision. Yeah, he's just sending them all into Neblime's base, which is kind of funny.
I have never seen him stack on top of it. Oh, here it's landed.
Neblime returning the favor. Oh, he's taking up space, right? So they can't build anything?
Yeah.
I mean, we never really set any rules against this. The barrier was supposed to be an informal rule, I guess, against doing any kind of offensive play, but this is kind of funny. Voddy has taken up a significant amount of space in Neblime's base. His buildings. And I think he's blocked off his own ground so that Neblime can't land. What we got making is tanks. The issue though, while you're like trying to land your command centers, your opponent is macroing up. And Voddy seems to be behind in the unit race. He's making starports, but he's got 25 seconds. There's no way that that structure is going to finish. Neblime is sieging. 2, 1. Okay, what are we looking at here? Neblime has a ton of tanks.
Siege tech is starting to come up for Voddy, but I think it might be too late.
Yeah, he doesn't have the units. He's got more starports, but
he's not researching cloak tech on the race, so I don't think it'll work out. And there is GG being called.
Neblime grabs game number 2. He told me that he thought about this map and what to do on it. And Voddy is somebody who thinks about the maps too. But it's interesting that even though there's a huge skill gap between these two guys, I mean, one's S rank, one's B rank, that didn't matter so much. Alright, getting into game 3. On Choose a Crowd.
It's going to be OP if Creep can somehow squeeze through this uh, pylon barrier here, but we will see.
I don't think it can. I forgot. We tested this out. So Neblime playing Zerg. Played Protoss first game. Then Terran. Now Zerg. Voddy has played Terran each game. Is going for a different strat. Making mass barracks. Only one command center. I think that's probably a good idea. Because you want to mass up as many units as you can. You do need to increase your supply limit. But I feel the last 2 games he made too many command centers. Maybe. Nebline's just been going for like macro builds, right?
I want to see what Nebline's strat here is, because which tech direction is he going? How did that SCTV cross the barrier here?
Voddy playing dirty. I don't even know how it got to the other side. I think it made something and it crossed over, huh?
But that is some shenanigans. There's another SCV up in the middle, but Terran can't land here because it's all creep. No A click, please.
They're forcefully allied for 5 minutes, so the only way that Voddy can attack this Overlord is by actually manually A-clicking it. But then even then, I think it stops you from attacking it, so you have to repeatedly A-click, A-click. I don't think Neblime likes the shenanigans, and he's looking to get some revenge. So you see the Sunkens are made, and they're not attacking. In 1 minute and 20 seconds, I don't think Voddy has an answer to this. Meanwhile, Neblime is teching into Lair with all of his hatcheries. Because when
Which
you get...
is probably a good idea for the extra health. I mean,
Yeah.
he has money to burn. And now I see a Spire coming up, so...
Yeah, I mean... You can get a bunch of tanks out. And then get ready for the mutas with Goliaths. I mean, another interesting thing about this map is you can kind of get vision of what your opponent is doing. And so you're constantly countering it in real time.
He's researching siege tech, so I think he's taking a lesson learned from the previous game. But I don't know if that'll help.
It looks really cool when the pylons all explode. So all the barracks are going to die. The creep is going to spread. I mean, 3 factories isn't going to be enough to hold a bunch of mutalisks. And Voddy knows that.
He taps up before he even builds the air units. I was surprised.
Voddy just doesn't have the correct counter. Because there was a TVT. And still wasn't able to win. Gotta give it to my man Neblime. Or thinking hard about bad map. Pushing the bad map meta forward.